Hello Pistons fans, David Mayo from MLive here at Madison Square Garden, where the Pistons are 102-89 losers tonight to the New York Knicks in a game that underscores when you're not focused, when you don't bring defensive energy, when you have the New York City flu or whatever it was the Pistons had tonight, and when you compound it with three outstanding scorers playing well together in a triangle offense like the Knicks had tonight, it's big trouble. Stan Van Gundy can be very pointed in his criticism of this team when the situation calls for it, but he used tonight some words: embarrassing, ridiculous, that he hasn't used this year. I asked Tobias Harris if he thought this was a hiccup or a step back, and of course he gave the predictable answer that it was a hiccup. I'm not sure you can't be certain that it's not a step back, not after two games like the Pistons had on this road trip where they got schooled at San Antonio, and we mentioned after that game that sometimes you just set aside a loss like that to a great team. But tonight they got schooled by a team that's not very great in New York, and the Knicks were playing without Kristaps Porzingis, who sat out the game with a leg bruise. They just got abused by the triangle offense until such point in the second half that the Knicks decided to move away from it more to side pick and roll and even high pick and roll, and the Pistons didn't defend any of it very well. 3 20-point scorers tonight for the Knicks. Aaron Aflalo, Carmelo Anthony, and Robin Lopez all scored at least 20 points for the Knicks. Only 3 other times has that happened against the Pistons this season, and 2 of those were in overtime games, one of them a 4-overtime game. The only other team that did it against the Pistons in a regulation length game this year was Cleveland, with 3 of possibly the best trio, arguably, in basketball, with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, who were the 3 that in fact did it in that game against the Pistons, who are squarely in the danger zone now. They're 31-31. Get Portland tomorrow night on a back-to-back. Chicago tonight looks like they're going to win. We're pulled at 500 along with the Pistons in that race for 8th spot in the East. So Portland tomorrow night at 18-6 in its last 24 games, but coming off 2 losses in a row to start this Eastern trip at Boston and Toronto. Has had a day off today, is sitting in Detroit, waiting on the Pistons for the game tomorrow night. That's where I'll see you back at the Palace of Auburn Hills when the Pistons make a whistle stop at home to play Portland before an incredibly important 4-game road trip after that. I'll see you tomorrow night from the Palace.